Hi everybody, this is Eric coming to you today to share with you about why we must never give up and why we must continue regardless of what other people think. The reason why we don't give up in this life is because if we do, we will be defeated. Being defeated means you don't continue. Being defeated means you stay down and you don't want to get back up. Being defeated means that you're gonna listen to everybody what they say about you in a negative way. Well, I'm here to tell you, you're not gonna be defeated. Today, you are gonna be a winner. So no matter how many times they knock you down, you just get right back up. And no matter how many times they say negative things, guess what? Ignore them. Because eventually, they don't succeed. And those who have succeeded but continue to put you down, well, they're going to be certainly doomed in the end for themselves. So the way I see it is this. If you are smart and intelligent and you're a good learner and a fast learner, you can say, well then, instead of putting other people down, why don't you help them get back up? Be a good Samaritan and help people get back up. It's never good to put people down because you feel like you're smarter than them, and those who are not as smart as you are not good. Well, guess what? You're no good to anybody because you put people down. It's better to help others when they're hurting. People struggle in life. Not everybody's a fast learner. Not everybody's an Albert Einstein. It's better for you, if you're struggling, to just continue. And if they tell you give up and quit, those are the real quitters right there. They just don't want to see you succeed. They probably quit for themselves and don't care, or they're succeeding, or they're successful, but they're not really successful because they put people down. If you're struggling, struggles is what makes you stronger. If you failed more than once, that doesn't mean you're a failure. A failure is when you just decide, I don't want to go any further. But a successful person is the one that continues throughout their failures. A successful person is somebody who continues regardless of the obstacles and the roadblocks in the way. And a successful person is somebody who doesn't listen to a negative person who's putting them down. Because the person who's putting them down are the ones that will never succeed in this life. You're motivating them to be better than you. That's what you're doing. So it doesn't matter whether it's your parents or your siblings or your spouse or even your partner. If they're putting you down negatively, do not listen to them. Even if they say, I know more, I know because I've been through that. Well, you know what? Maybe this because they've been through the quitting stages where they didn't want to go any further. Or if they tell you, you're bad for what you did, what you did was wrong, who are they to judge you? They're not in your situation. You are in your own situation. Each and every one of us has a different situation. Even if we're married, two may become one, but each and every one of us has a situation. Oh yeah, what happens to you affects me, and what happens to me affects you. Okay, that's part of the marriage thing, but guess what? You are still your own person. You are still in your own situation. You are still in your own struggle. It's no good to be putting people down just because you feel like, oh well, that person is a failure. No, a failure is when the person continues to move on. Successful people move forward, and they don't quit. They just continue, regardless, because sooner or later you will pass something. Sooner or later, that test that you failed, you'll pass it. One way or the other, you're not a failure unless you continue to stay down, stay defeated, and don't continue to move any forward. But if you want to be successful, a successful person will be the one who continues to move forward, does not listen to negative people, and will not be intimidated. They just continue to move forward and leave the other behind because the other person who just kept putting them down doesn't really care about them. That's why I tell you now, success only comes when you move forward and you continue regardless of the situation. That is why I tell you now also, do not listen to negative people. If you know those kind of people who are negative, and you're asking them for your help, and they're not helping you really, they're not the kind of people you want to be around with. They're very negative, and those are the ones you want to stay away from. Stay away from negative people or negative tutors who claim to be tutors that are going to tutor you but are very negative. Ask for a different tutor. You don't need to be around negative people who are going to put you down. You want to be around positive people who are going to lift you up. And second, patience is a virtue. Love is patient, love is kind. Be kind and patient to those you're helping. Well, thank you everybody for listening to this message. Just remember, don't give up, don't quit, don't be a failure. And remember, failure is not an option. Failures are for people who continue to stay down and don't want to continue. That is it for the day. Thank you very much. Have a good day.